Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another long-term update for you today. I like doing a bunch of knives all at once for these long-term updates rather than just doing one at a time, because when you do that, it winds up being a 10-minute video that really doesn't say much unless there was a big problem or something like that. So it's better just to do a bunch, 2, 3, 4 minutes at a time and just get them out of the way that way. Also, gives you an idea of what's sticking around, like what I like enough that I hung around to make a long-term video about. And then some of them are going away on this one. So yeah, let's get going. We're just going to go left to right. Start out with the Doug Ritter Hogue RSK Mark 1-G2. It's always such a long thing to say. This is the mini. I have had two of the larges in the past. They've both gone away, and I've kept the mini. So I guess that says a lot. I really like the mini. I have no intention of getting rid of this at all. It's a great knife for $140 for 20 CV, made in the USA. Excellent Hogue quality. There is really very little to dislike about this knife. Part of the reason why it's sticking around is mini griptilian does not fit my hands right. I've tried several of them. I've owned several of them. They always wind up leaving. This one is just that tiny bit larger. I mean, it's minuscule. It's like 1/8 of an inch bigger, but it does make a difference in my hands. I can actually hold this one. It's very comfortable. The only thing I don't like about it, and it seems almost more intense on this one for some reason. I am going to do a little mod to this one because this little starburst pattern looks cool and everything in the G10, and it's very grippy, which I know is very important to Doug and his design and stuff, but it is a bit of a pocket destroyer with that pocket clip. It's just, this is pretty rough. I'm probably gonna sand down underneath a pocket clip or something, or or bend the pocket clip out a little bit or something, because that's the only thing that stops me from carrying this more. Is it's just a bit rough going in and out of the pockets, especially if you're wearing thicker jeans, like jeans with reinforced pockets that are supposed to stop your pants from shredding. This really does its best to defeat that. But action's still great, centering still perfect, all those things. Still love this a lot. Next up, the Kershaw Launch 11. It's a great little automatic. $99.95 is what they go for. It's, made in the USA by Kershaw, CPM 154 steel. I really love the design of it. I like the colorways they chose and everything. I even like the hole in the middle that some people don't like, but I really like it. I think it's a great little auto, but it's probably not sticking around just because I have other autos in the same kind of size, and there's nothing really worse about this than any of those others. But it's a great value. I definitely recommend it, but I'm not sure it's going to stick around. I do love the blade shape on it and things like that, but it's a great knife. I have zero complaints about, but it's just it isn't something that inspires any passion in me, I guess. So this is it's probably going to be on one of my top 10 lists at the end of the year. It's that darn good, but it's not one that I'm going to keep around. Next up, the Spyderco Watu, a knife that I really like and a lot of you really don't. Because everybody says, that's so hideous, how can you like that? I like it. These are $182, made in Taichung S30V, the carbon fiber peel ply that also people dislike. I kind of like it, but a nice wire pocket clip. Always like that. It carries really well, and this blade is just a freaking laser beam. I don't know how else to describe it. It is one of the sliceiest knives I own by a long shot. I just really, really love the blade on this thing. But it's another one that's probably going away, just because where it fits in my massive amounts of Spydercos it's kind of a, to me, cool looking, slicey little, not gentlemanly knife, but sort of in that vein. But now I have another one that's also in that vein, the Spyderco Spy Opera that I just got. So I think this is going to kind of fill that hole in my collection. So yeah, the Watu's probably going away, but it's great. And yes, it is a bit annoying that part of the blade comes into the path of the of the compression lock. You have to get your finger out of the way. That's a bit annoying, but that's not why I'm getting rid of it. It's just because, again, it's one that just doesn't, I really like it. I think it's a great freaking knife. I think it's one of the best things Spyderco's come out with this year, but it just doesn't inspire a lot of passion in me. So it's probably going away. Next up, I can't believe I didn't have this in a long-term update video before, but I looked through and I have not. Yes, my Microtech Socom Elite manual. Tanto. It took me a really long time to find one of these. This is never going away. It's still great. It still makes beautiful, amazing noises. I carry it more often than I thought I would, even when I got it. It's just, I really enjoy it. It's been definitely going through a renaissance period too in my my daily carries, because it's been carried a lot lately. I still love Tantos. I'm definitely on a Tanto kick. Do I only have one on here? Yeah, I only have one. But as he's going, you're going to see there's a lot more Tantos. If I have an option to order a Tanto on a knife, I usually pick it. Just for my normal EDC tasks, that Tantos work fantastically well. Downsides, not many. It's tipped down, which a lot of people go, oh my God, it's tipped down. I thought that too when I first saw Socom, but you know what? For this knife, kind of works. Can't really complain about it. Pocket clip tension, everything's good. It goes in and out of all my jeans of various thicknesses very easily. Really didn't think I would like this grippy stuff either, but it's recessed, so it really doesn't cause any issues. It's been completely fine. And again, it's on this side of the pocket where it's sliding in and out is smooth, so no issues there. Just a really well-designed knife. And that noise, and where they place those thumb studs, and you have that little track that just guides you. Oh, that sound. This is never going away. If you can get a Socom Elite manual, I highly, 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 highly recommend it. And this is not as expensive as you think. These are about $290. I think a lot of people think Socoms are horribly expensive, but they're not. They're just hard to get. So especially, it took me 14 months to get the configuration that I wanted. So if you see one that's close to the configuration you want, get one. You will not be disappointed. They are awesome. Next up, most expensive knife on the table here. This is a Hinderer XM18 skinny no-choil slicer. This was a DLT exclusive. I think they're all gone now, but I'm going to put it on here anyway. $425. I'm putting it on here anyway because I don't do a lot of videos about the XM18 skinnies, even though I have two of them. This is, I think, if you're going to buy your first Hinderer, get one of these. I know Metal Complex said that as well. Metal Complex and I have a friendly argument about who is the biggest Hinderer nerd, and I disagree with him on that. But I do agree with him on the fact that, yeah, for your first Hinderer, if you're going to step up and get the real one, get a skinny. They're great. They're very, very Hinderer, but they're a little easier to carry than some of the other ones. And now they've made so many variants of the skinny lately, and I know there are more coming. The aftermarket parts are pretty readily available. Not quite as much as a regular thickness XM18, which still isn't a tank. It's still completely carryable, but not as easy as this is. But you can get parts and stuff for the skinnies pretty easily. I upgraded this a lot, and it was no problem because you have to get different screws. You have to put all this blue stuff on here. So this all had to be skinny specific. This knife was not blue when I got it, and I managed to easily get a blue skinny scale for it. And I know for a fact that Sharp Dress Knives is soon going to be making skinny scales because I sent him one to make, so to copy so he can make them. But yeah, pretty easy to get hardware for them now. If you want to upgrade them, make them your own, as they say. This one is worth more than the 425 because I put all this blue hardware and everything on it. But the blue nuts and blue pocket clip and blue filler tab. But I'm still not in love with the blue, but you guys seem to like it. I've almost switched it back several times, but I guess I'm going to stick with the blue. But yeah, M390, DLTs, you can always buy. DLTs are almost always M390. But it's the Hinderer I carry the most by quite a wide margin. I just really like the no-choils, and I really like I just really like the skinny form factor. If this was a non-flipper no-choil, oh my God, I'd lose my tiny little mind over it. And the slicer blade is still one of my favorites. Now, next up, let's do the Microtech Ludt. This is a knife that I kind of wanted, but then I saw the purple. And as you can see, matches completely, with my backdrop. So, I had to get it. It's Slicey Dicey purple. But I kind of thought it might be a mascot knife that I didn't carry very much. I actually do, because it is so slicey. I think this is like 13 or 14 thousandths behind the edge. And another knife too, another Microtech, same thing. Everybody thinks they're expensive. This was $238. It's not cheap, but it ain't bad. And LUDTs actually aren't quite as hard to find as some of the other ones. This one I just kind of stumbled on, and I don't know how available they are at the moment, but they do seem to make a fair decent amount of them. And it's not one of the iconic Microtech OTFs or a Socom. So you can actually find them. But it is a fantastic freaking knife. Again, that blade is just outstanding. M390 on this one again. Yeah, M390, $238 and a really, really well-built USA-made automatic. It not a bad price at all. Some people hate the Microtech billboarding. I kind of don't. I usually hate this much billboarding. I hate half this much billboarding. But I don't know. I think it just kind of fits the personality of most Microtechs, and I do kind of like it a lot. And lastly, probably the one you guys are all waiting for because this is a knife that's been so popular this year, and I get so many questions about it. Every live stream, people want me to bring it out. They want me to talk about it. How's it doing? This is the Protech Malibu. It's breaking in really well. I carry it a lot. I use it a lot. That little bit of button stick that it had is pretty much gone. You can hear a sound now, but it doesn't, like, you can't feel it. The action's gotten very, very good on it. And it's just great. This is an awesome knife. It's very small, very light, very slicey. It does get used a lot. It does need to get cleaned right now. I was actually doing some kind of messy stuff with it the other day, so I know that the pivot is a bit gunky. But I just really like it. I like the shorter pocket clip. It doesn't have one of the big giant Protech pocket clips. I have almost zero flaws with this one. This is the Warncliffe. There was a reverse Tanto. I guess if there's one flaw at the moment, they're hard to get a hold of, but that's not going to be a permanent thing. That just happens with Protech. They make stuff in cycles, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more. This is not going away. 20 CV steel and $199.95. So not too shabby at all, I think, for the price. Again, for USA made, really smooth button lock. It's just, and an opposite of no billboarding at all. All the print is on all the stuff is on the spine, which I think is really cool. I think that's a cool way to do it. But great knife. I do know this was the second production one that went out the door, so kind of cool. Doesn't stop me from abusing it though. But great freaking knife, and I'm a big Protech fan, so it's cool to see them do more manuals, and they said they're going to be doing more in the future. So if they're all as good as this is another one you're going to see on the top 10 list at the end of the year. It's guaranteed. It's going to finish very, very, very high up. It's a great freaking knife. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and let me know. I mean, you guys seem to like the long-term roundup format, so let me know in the comments. But I think this is the best way to do this. You guys seem to have liked them so far. I've done lots of them. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.